right, gents, Series M, Gentlemen with Class. It's episode 4. I'm closer to completing my hand. Yeah, this one is very special. Today I bring you. Uh, I've known this guy for how many? It's like 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. I can basically say I've known him for my whole life. Yeah, he's a brother to me. It's the go-to guy whenever like I face about troubles business. Yeah, he comes handy and he always have my advisor, right? Yeah, though this guy is younger than me, but hey, lie. Waphiwa naye goes by the name Sibusiso Simelane. Akwazi ukuwasha ama accolades akhe or ukuthi ubambe mapha ama degree or yini, but uzoyikhulumela yena. My brother, how are you doing?
Series M, Gentlemen with Class, Unjan.
Yaphila, browse it.
I'm awesome.
Yeah, it's been a long timing. We're chatting a lot about this episode.
Yeah.
Besilokhu silindele silokhu sisho ukuthi mana yenzeke.
Yeah.
Yeah, so today uzizwa njani?
I'm great, actually. Obviously, all great things are worth waiting for. So we're here on the 4th episode. So I think we'll make it to be one of the most creamiest, if not the best episode so far. We'll try our best.
Yeah. Let's go back to your childhood. It's funny now, I don't know like half of it. I know you from the school days up until like now. But like the past, anginayo clue yayo. So akuphi kahle kahle.
Umama wasingafika nge-aeroplane, so aeroplane ini.
This one, this guy.
I'm just kidding.
So
I was born 5th of November, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Something kancane kodwa hayi kakhulu. So I was born eMatateni section 5. Grew up eMatateni section 3.
Okay.
Both my parents are Matateni section 3. Moved from Matateni to Osizweni for a short while.
Okay.
So
That's a smauser.
yes, but for a very short while.
Yeah.
It was quite an experience. It was very nice actually for me. Then after my dad's passing, then unfortunately we had to move because we just needed to be more secure, more safe. Obviously, when you grow up, for your kids, you want the best environment.
Yeah.
So that's when we moved from Elokshini to town.
Yeah.
Then obviously I went to a Hope High School from grade 1 up until grade 12.
Yo, let's school is like a torture. Being in that building for 12 years.
Yeah.
Ay.
Finally, umuntu wenza prison break from there. Then I went to go further my studies. I studied at the University of Johannesburg. So I did a BSc Computer Science. Then in between, I was actually struggling a bit with math. So calculus, not the high school one.
Oh, yeah.
The proper one.
I remember those days was Kulbang stats ne.
Yeah, applied math, all of those things. So from there, then I ended up switching to a BCom degree, which is a BCom Economics and Econometrics. While studying, I had a calling for business. So I actually started running a business while I was still a student.
Yeah. Asibambe kancane lapho. Bayabona ngathi usufuna ukuthi siqede fast. No, ibambe.
Yeah.
Mawukhula growing up.
Yeah.
Were you naughty or like reserve or chilled guy?
I don't feel like my mom had any complaints. None of my family members have any complaints. Well, that I'm aware of. But obviously, ingane izoba namaphutha here and there, but nothing major.
Yeah. Let me refresh you one moment. One moment.
Hey.
Having your, I think it's not your first PC, but I remember there's something happened, like installing a mass softwares,
Yeah.
and then virus came, and there was the guy called Umzwake.
Yeah.
And he was the one actually who comes with those ideas of install it in.
So what people know as virtual machines right now,
Yeah.
way back in the day, kwakusakhona Windows XP angazi ke, depends how old you are.
Yeah.
There's Windows
Yeah.
XP, so ngizoyibophisa, but I hope not. So Umuzi, he was actually like very fond of knowing on the latest software and how to bypass certain
Yeah.
things. Qala wasebenzisa ukuthi install alcohol 120.
Ngithi kusazokhuluma ngayo. Alcohol, yeah, for those of you who don't know alcohol 120, yeah, that software used to override everything. I mean, like you drank. Yeah.
It got a lot of computers very drunk.
Yeah, very
So,
drunk.
one of I'll tell you one of the things that actually happened. So it was during the days with high school. We wanted to share a game. So constantly game A1. Let's say you want to buy Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Saying Need for Speed A1.
So
let's
can
say
they
own.
share? Yeah.
So obviously you have to install alcohol 120 to actually like get an image or virtual image of the software.
Yeah.
To be able to play at home at your own comfort zone. So
Yeah.
I hope my friend is not gonna kill me. But so
No, dropping files today.
one of the most profound moments, which was very hilarious at that time, that Muzi lied about. He said, so we were visiting one of our friends.
Uhlala kuphi? Around the corner. Around the corner.
Yes.
Okay.
Possibly.
Yeah. When you go down. That's fine. What's me now?
So let's install alcohol 120. So he had just gotten his home PC at that time.
Yeah.
So install it's all the software. So his dad, being a dad,
Yeah.
comes home, he wants to chill with the son. The son is always on his computer. And so confused manje. Ambuza manje wenzani la? Ethi no baba. Busy ngifaka ama movie. So, yazi wangisiza ngifuna ufake wonke ama movie ami wonke ama channel. Ngiyila ngifuna ukufika le computer engaka. So his dad actually thought the more software or anything that you install on your computer, your computer gets bigger and bigger.
Yes.
It's like, hey, ngaqhumike like
Yeah. School me on this one.
yeah.
I will not say you went to IT,
Yeah.
but like influence with Drake from your studies doing CAT or whatsoever, who's you end up like doing computer science?
Not necessarily. So where I got the inspiration from was I've always wanted to know more, like what happens behind the scenes
Technology-wise.
with anything.
Okay.
So tech at that time obviously was on its very rapid rise. So a lot of people never knew what was really happening behind a computer.
Yeah.
So especially with Windows XP, that thing used to crash for flippant days.
Yeah.
The blue screen of death.
Hey.
So I just wanted to know how to fix simple things, but obviously be able to monetize at the end, because I'm very fond of making money while solving a certain problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So influence yako like business wise, was it because mhlambe endleni There was some business ebeyenzeka or what?
Yeah, so what some people know this, but I grew up in a home that had taxis.
Okay.
So I started like getting used to money when I was quite young, and it fascinated me. So I just always wanted to have money,
Yeah.
but I didn't know what to do, and I wasn't really for the idea of being like a taxi business forever. So I just wanted to create a diversification for the family. We can't just be sticking to one thing.
Yeah.
There's plenty of opportunities that are coming right now, and this is the time to actually venture into them. But obviously, you can't venture into something that you do not know. So I had to go and study and find out more on how things work in the tech world.
Oh yeah.
How do you monetize in the tech world? So I learned quite a number of things, especially in the payment space. So 'cause that's where I actually started building my security systems around my banking securities, which will diverge further into our conversation a bit later.
Oh yeah. As with you, we can like talk the whole day.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about like your fond memory about getting to feel that you have a love for music and seeing yourself starting to produce.
Yeah.
What was that one song, Orange, of which stood in your mind and you were like, okay, now this is nice.
So quite a number of songs, but there was this one moment. I was always fooling around, obviously, like because I calling during the Automix days of virtual
Yeah,
DJ. So there was this one song that I heard for the first time. I think it was 2008.
Okay. Or your senior year in high school.
Yes. That really got me into like music production. I wanted to dissect the song. So the song was by Chris Lake and Sebastian Ledger, Word.
Oh yeah.
I was like, no, it was quite a huge song. Obviously, but I heard the record before it actually became huge.
Yeah.
So obviously, like you knowing me, I've always had an ear for music, and I would like foresee or foretell this is a banger.
Yeah.
So my brother, Ungcebo,
Yeah.
I told him, there's this song. So I couldn't interpret the song.
Yeah.
Toot, 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 toot.
Wait. The first time I think I heard that song, it was in Sport Dead, but with Dabi. Hope.
Yeah.
And it was DJ Malachi ubedlala lapha.
Yeah.
And that time bekusasetshenziswa la ama DJ la kanye ama Jepsen
Yeah. Starter packs, DJs.
Yeah, with DJ 5000.
Hey.
Yeah, it was those days. Yeah.
Uyakhumbula ukhona indlovu.
No, I have memories. Hey, futhi they. Yeah.
So yeah, at that time it was not as easy to get access to music as it is today. So we used to like exchange music. Now you'd give me music,
Yeah.
I'll give you records as well. So that was one of the records. Obviously, like I think amongst all my DJ peers and my producer peers, I was the first one to actually have the song.
No, those days, mawukhumbula kahle,
Yeah.
like musically, if you had a song of which it's exclusive,
Yeah.
like really exclusive,
Yeah.
sang oyiphethe ingoma you got that day,
Yeah.
everyone would worship you.
Yeah.
Hayi njengamanje sebesitshela wena
You should.
ohlazemo.
Yeah, you'd actually have fun searching for a song.
Yeah.
And when you finally get it, it's like, yeah.
I'm the Yeah. So kuza kanjani ke finding yourself usuqala uproducer, like give me a background ukuthi waqala ngayiphi software.
Oh, so not calling Fruit Loops, I never knew what the hell was going on there.
Yeah.
So at that point, obviously, like, you're still in high school, you can't afford a MIDI.
Yeah.
Hey, my songs is sounding terrible now that I think about it. And when it always say, yeah, the time I'm busy making a beat, like, but it was sounding monotonous.
Yeah. Being an progression.
That rise, like,
Yeah, it's progression.
yes,
Yeah.
it was not progressive at some of the songs. So like, it took me a while to actually, like,
Yeah.
get around the software. And when I got around it, I was like, oh, so, then obviously, like, I started playing around exclusive remixes that I would play. Then obviously later into my varsity days, I was also part of a DJ Society. What was it called? Mix Masters.
Yeah, I
It
think
was
it's
a
Mix
DJ
Masters.
Society.
Yeah.
In UJ, yeah. So obviously, like, mix by freshers, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm a full fag lineup. Those gatekeepers.
Yeah. Asikani manje lento yabantu ukuthi bakuvalele.
Those gatekeepers, ngiyadlala. I'm sorry, boys, you're not gatekeepers, you cool guys. But, like, obviously, I had to, like, really show up. So I entered a McDonald's Top Jog competition.
I remember that one.
Yeah, I killed it.
I remember there was that mix you killed at UJFM.
Yeah.
Eish. I think it was a 15 minutes mix.
Yeah.
Or what?
Yeah.
Oh, that's when you were proving a point. Value, I can do this.
No, the thing is, like, obviously with the fascination of wanting to know how everything really works. Those days, Kent was quite huge.
Yeah,
DJ
DJ
Kent. So obviously listening to all the alter mixes, I would draw, like, a bit of inspiration. But the song selection, yeah, for me, like, was predictable. So I wanted to create an alter mix, but that had that Shimza touch, that Black Coffee touch.
Yeah.
But obviously introducing you to new songs while keeping you hooked to certain elements of old songs that you can actually relate to. So I was actually, like, one of the guys who's never afraid to, like, experiment with sound.
Yeah.
So in a set, I would drop, like, a new song that no one knows. But the way it would go in and play, it would be like, yeah, nah.
Yeah. Let me just pause and just throw this question.
Yeah.
Influence yakho ngiyangibalekela lento. Influence yakho ke. Nah, it's not like your influence. I'm asking about because vele thina sile generation of future technologies khula nayo ne.
Yeah.
Social media from I think the time you started up until now.
Yeah.
Mhlambe yini wena oyibonile and what are the advantages for umuntu onjenga cause I've seen ukuthi like you are professional coming to social media, you know ukuthi what is it being used for?
Oh, yes. So social media was like a huge game changer. Like, it was a huge gold mine. When it first arrived, people never knew about it. I also, like, felt I'm a very private guy. A lot of people don't know a lot of things about me.
Yeah.
Some do. But, like, my details, like, I'm a name about was bazi, I'm a highlights. So when social media first came, what's on your mind? Hey, that question.
Yeah. It was the biggest question.
Exactly. So having your thoughts, your emotions out there to the world exposed, like that, for me, it was like, So do I really want to say what's on my mind? Because I have a lot of things on my mind.
Yeah.
Ezinye ngiyazisho mase sort of privately.
Yeah.
But I understand ukuthi angikwazi ukuzisho publicly.
Yeah.
Because obviously with the things that come with it, the responsibility or accountability after saying something. Certain things you can say and never take back. So for the first time, we could actually hold people to account like we do. Yabo mabeti, social media never forgets.
Yeah, indeed.
So ngayibona i-rights social media, especially for people who wanted to grow brands, showcase products, raise funds. Well, for me, it connected me to a whole new range of network of people. So I connected with a lot of guys for the first time on social media, and I've been as a professional.
Yeah.
So other people would be out of your reach, but now because of social media, they like yeah, man.
Yeah.
Kodwa phela nawe kumele uqoqe inkulumo yakho awukwazi ukuthi hi izolo hi namhlanje hi 3 minutes later no vele kubuya ngaze lo muntu lo so I used it to my advantage mini social media, and I've seen a lot of people grow from social media, and I've seen people being broken by social media.
Yeah.
So it's a two-way street. Just depends which side of the table you're sitting on.
Yeah. To that question, seqhamuka lokhu ke. Now the emerging, I think the first business, I think we did together.
Yeah.
In drift or what's that? Oh, the first business we did together, I used to manage you, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Our music manager getting us gigs. A gig was getting us on an NCR. How many listeners?
Hey.
The entire community.
Yeah.
No, I liked the way I liked the way you moved, because at that time I wasn't here, but obviously I wanted the brand to still grow here.
Yeah.
So like I felt like at that time you were the best guy to push and forge that vision for us, especially the time Caesars see former like even the Funk Boys.
Yeah.
Those are good times.
We still live in those times. We still live on those times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after then you ventured. I don't recall. What was your first business?
My first professional business or just my random business?
And yes, but when you always have your hands on everything, like your first formal business, you can say it was registered. Sure. And what was the motive behind?
Don't keep some files.
I'm still file.
Hey, okay. So in I think it was 2011. Is it 2011 or 2012?
Post World Cup.
Yeah, post World Cup. So there was a guy who now manages Umekji. Jason.
Oh, you know Jason personal.
Yeah. We worked on a business together. The first event business that we did was with Jason. This guy, I'm not red. Tall guy, but Zumbea side.
Yeah.
For now, so we wanted to actually push our DJ careers, but obviously we understood the focus way back in the day. You can't just be like just a DJ and get bookings. You need to bring something to the table.
Yeah.
So we then approached a lot of sponsors. Has a Rockstar energy drink?
I do.
So we're actually one of the first guys to actually market it in varsity.
Rockstar.
Yes.
Yay.
So, yeah, so get stock. Jason apha bangani bakhe. Ngiyadlala no tawenza lokho.
Yeah.
So obviously with an intention of throwing our own events, so we'd actually take the brand that we are marketing to say, listen, we need a budget, we need to attract people to actually start coming to the table and come buy your brand. So Connie Club ibibizwa ngeRoxy's the Melville.
Yeah.
Pub club nayo. Ngiyadlala. Yabo ngiyareflecta manje. So Melville, it was a student vibe, yabo.
Yeah,
so we started dropping ama events to angikhumbule ngathi like it was very successful except for the private ones. So from that experience alone, I knew it's okay. This is how you plan an event. This is how you deal with people. This is how you approach sponsors. sometimes when you can have a whole concept in your mind, but only when you execute it, if it's purely executed, well, the results are going to slap you in your face.
Yeah.
Bro? So, obviously, you're using even our own money at that time. So then I learned valuable lessons, one of them being loyalty in a business, and obviously being able to differentiate between work and play.
Work and play.
Yes, work versus play.
Before you continue, what is it exactly very wrong within that organization of which because ukuze kufike kuyi-downfall?
Too many decision makers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Too many.
Yeah. It's like having a country run by two presidents. It would never work.
Yeah.
So you need that one person ozoba ne authority, kube khona umuntu ozodila. In a business, people usually see the front product. There's things that happen in the background, and you need to be able to deal with those things and work, get shit done, basically. I mean, I work with that attitude. So no one really cares about your efforts. People just care about the results. So I would see a downfall, too many decision makers, obviously leading to mismanagement. So I learned a couple of things from there. So, okay, once I start really going further into business, this should never happen again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember this one time, we dropped an event, a big launch a Smirnoff, the black one.
Did it see daylight? Let's spin off.
It did.
I don't even recall.
So
the only black bottle was in the cruise, of which I still remember to this day.
So check this out. We're busy brainstorming. We're having a power session. Jason goes and approaches the sponsor. But obviously, with the whole team brainstorming, he gets the stock. We have to do one thing, just one thing. One thing. Take pictures of people consuming the product and send them back to the sponsor. So we get what? More sponsorship. We can now host my events and a lineup, my artists like DJ Kent, who.
Yeah,
they fucked it up. Yeah, bro. But I can't only be pointing fingers to them, but I also need to take accountability to say, hey, maybe I should have been more strict with certain things. So other guys abangani bakhe basebebona ngazathi tuck shop yabo, every time they want something, probably they would use the business name to attain those things. So engabona no, this is not gonna work. So we ended up not working together in after that event, because I was really, really upset. Then I went to form Affairs of Future.
Hey!
Yeah. From there.
Wait. I'm thinking it's point A to B. It's Affairs of Future. Oh, yeah.
Then we created a point A to B.
Yeah.
Then we created Trendz online.
Let's start from Affairs of Future, because I think that's the dawn of all these businesses.
Definitely. Very valuable lessons learned from that.
Yeah, briefly, what
so
was
basically,
it?
any OTP manje.
Yeah.
So way back in the day, my security layers, when it came to internet banking, they short. So being dissect a system, I'm able to pick all the weak points of a system, even with a person. Oh, okay. When it comes to analysis, I can just note, so if singavala la, would actually make a lot of money. So what I then created, way back in the day, even today, OTP bisebenza when you're buying stuff online. So ngangibona ngendlela card fraud eyikhona ngakhona way back in the day. So we created Ilokunjan, a security layer, which actually was using USSD technology.
Konje, what was the brand name?
Uh,
Hey, I'm saying I call it.
forgot.
It was pinkish, I think so.
Yeah,
Color coding, yeah, call.
yeah. So, so then one of my friends, what's ufake card ATM, walahlelwa imali. Then I thought to myself, why yonke lento ungayi-authorize la efonini for ama-withdrawals? Ngathi no, musuphathe ubhopopo at that time. Then so creator into a pop up. Uthi uma ufake ikhadi, the security feature will pop up. So you'd have a dual authentication manje. Ipin ozoyifaka for ikhadi nepin oyifaka la angeke azafana. Then obviously we're trying to get help on how to actually bring it to life. Then I saw the problem was not only in banking, but it was also in retail as well.
Yeah.
And identity theft was on the rise at that time.
And I'm a victim of identity
Yeah.
theft.
Yeah. So people opening clothing accounts or approving a sale of a clothing account. It was because it was just easy. If someone has your card, let's say Edgar's or True's, wherever, they could simply just go and buy without you authorizing it. All they needed was a signature.
Yeah.
So a lot of people actually lost money, and a lot of people were frauded during that era. So we then reached out to seminars where we would meet likely-minded people, and then we came across Utepo, which I'll speak about. Very bright guy. I learned a lot from him. I actually am not afraid to say Uti. A lot of the things that I then went to learn and execute and how I move now, I learned a lot of the technical aspects from him, because he was in the banking space at that time. He was a senior developer for a Standard Bank.
Where your programmer like the whole system?
My
is
ATM.
bank.
My ATM.
Oh yeah. To be specific.
Yeah. So.
So that guy did networking. That was a strong point, yeah.
C sharp was his very strong point. Networking, I would say, yeah, because
it goes hand in hand.
Yes, eventually everything needs to fit.
Yeah.
As a glove, product
Yeah.
So, what Dibolt, angazi noma bani bayazi Dibolt. So Dibolt is a company that actually manufactures ATM. Then you install the software into the ATM. So here's the guy that's actually installing and updating ATM. So, for example, Mofigure, machine out of order. He's the guy who's gonna fix that ATM with or at that time he had to go there physically. Then he did a couple of things. Then he had flags on the system. Okay. Then he could actually fix ATMs remotely. Then I was like super amazed. I'm like, yeah. I was blown away.
Yeah, I think this question. What's this technology? Maybe Zan. Futhi your installer or control the computer remotely. That software.
Teams, yep. Which one?
Yeah, hi Teams.
Team Viewer.
Yeah, Team Viewer. Yeah. So more can we born a value also like amazed. But yeah, so
that was way much later.
Way much
later. So okay. This guy was like a super genius. He still is. So at that time, we were busy in a security layer. Hey, we just young boys in varsity trying to convince banks to actually take our system. Obviously, it's not going to be easy. You're black. Your experience is not shady, but you lack experience.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's a lot of accountability that needs to come with Imalia Band. So, at that point, Tepo was on his own journey, mobile money. So, I'll speak shortly about it.
Yeah.
So at that time, Utepo wanted to create, or what we see now, we're doing it in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Mobile money, now you can actually withdraw money, SPA from your Capitec. Like, it's a technology that we started developing in 2014. Uh, well, we were mostly focused on the rural and the unbanked market because that's where Vele people struggle the most. Yabo. And they believe that retail banking is the future. And I believe that as well. So I was like, listen, anything that I can do to be part of this team, I'm definitely getting on this. So that's where I got a lot of the exposure that I have today.
No, I feel you, I feel you. Hayi nami vele ngafuna ukuba part of such team. So let's talk about ilokhunjana formation ke like the
The
transition
transition.
from um further future, and then you had any point A to B. Like emotive, yeah, point A to B. Like just flow with the story nje, like development yawo.
It was simple. What has worked, okay, for those abangas, the point A to B was we actually created a mobile application for Android and iOS. That was in 2016. So we did development from 2016. I think it was around March. Then we got to have a minimum viable product around end of July. Uh, yeah, 2016. It was in 2016. So how it came about was we needed a product, excuse me, that was easily gonna get people uh, using every day. So with that data, we then start implementing solutions like mobile money. Imagine Gibeli takes me e-wallet. So that initially that was the idea, because people would not ideally just come onto your platform and use it. So the e-hailing space at that time, it was the it thing. It was moving. Uber had just launched in South Africa, I think, in 2012 or 13, angisakhumbuli. So
Yeah.
they did not really have proper competition. So I remember the time we were about 80% done with our dev. Taxify launched.
Oh, so kahle kahle, if you say it in a short brief, you
Yeah.
can say point A to B. It was also like a medium efana njengabo Uber,
Yes, e-hailing platform.
Taxify.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was an e-hailing platform.
So you saw a gap yokuthi
Yes.
this is the solution you wanna offer.
Yes.
Mhlampe better than no Uber.
Yes, yes, definitely. Because Tina, we had a very diversified market that we were trying to service. So by diversification, I mean we whether we in we onboarded a tuk,
Yeah.
onboarded a normal cabs, we did ilokunjane, e-driver assist. So obviously, imagine having all those things in one application.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so then we said, okay, we're ready to go. 2016 December we launched. We're struggling to get drivers, especially at Newcastle. I feel like personally we're not getting the support from our driver.
Yeah.
For various reasons. I will not diverge much into that. They have their own reasons, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, because obviously it's your own car, whatever. But we then found Uti, not in a bad way, but strangers and people that are further from your home tend to be more supportive than the people at home.
It's always like that, man.
So we went to other places where we did a soft launch. We did a soft launch in Durban, had a huge uptake, had a fleet of about 150 drivers in one go. We did Joburg, which was huge as well. Then we wanted to start onboarding, obviously, like the different sides. So the different sides or the diversified sides being, I want to move with transport man. Kumele ngicinge ukuthi uba umuntu even, but la sikwazi ukurequesta yonke into in just one platform. So that was the power of it. Yabo. Then we started having issues in 20, was it 17? No.
I think the last time with point A to B.
Yeah.
I think the last time it was. I think
2018?
towards 2018.
Yeah. So in 2016, I got a lot of support though from my family. Big shout out to my cousin Unjabulu. Like he really pulled through for us. Sipo, my mom, Muzi,
Hey.
you guys. Like I, as much as it was a very scary journey at that time, but the support that I had behind me, like I was like, I what would I say if like this fails? Because I have all the support behind me.
Yeah.
Then we went to actually start going into doing corporate business now. Kumbula ngiskuthi bekunabo driver assist, all those things. So obviously insurance would want such a service, obviously to decrease the risk.
Yeah.
So now we started thinking of plenty of ways to monetize. You understand? Then we're like, okay, but what if we also make it very like even further? Then I started engaging with Michael Clampett from iTech Property. So that time, all of Africa was just opening. Midrand was having a very serious problem with traffic. So we wanted to reduce the traffic using an application. Guess what was the solution? So the solution would be ride sharing. Like
Oh,
what
yeah,
you see
yeah,
with
yeah.
driver now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was in 2017 early.
Hey, but for those of you who don't know this guy, this is Sibusiso Simelane.
So
I decided not to introduce him like properly, but I think you have an idea now who the guy is. Yeah.
So Michael, then I met Michael Clampett. So they're in charge of iTech Properties. It's a listed company. They own Mall of Africa. Initially, they were in a partnership with Atterbury that owns Midland Mall. They own a lot of malls. So
Atterbury.
yeah, so I started making strategic partnerships with all the right people in corporate and all the right decision makers, just to like make it easy for us to maneuver and get sponsorship, to get moving. So from there, then I had a challenge with point A to B. Right now, I feel like as much as we are very vision driven,
Yeah.
our team is not big enough to execute the project. But I was like, really, do we stop this project or not? So we kept on going with the project. But I saw what it was just going to take time for it to work, because we're struggling now to even have the upkeep going. Need to pay for servers, about Amazon, AWS, those services, because we did not have our own service. So then obviously with other costs, we had 1, 2, 3 offices that we were running, we needed to service. But Michael, they were very generous enough to give us the office to use their waterfall, so we could use that address. Obviously, if I show you
Yeah.
the
Business
business
card,
card,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
credibility.
Yeah.
And obviously with them backing us up at that time, even with other people that wanted to be part of us, it was like, oh, so if these big guys are already here, why should, yeah.
Yeah.
Then I saw Guti in Durban. to be specific. We started having operational problems because we were supposed to go live. We were done with when my soft launches, my trainings, but we hit a brick wall. We had disagreements with the guys that were bringing us that database of drivers. Greed came. You know when there's money involved, and you are young, and older people. Sometimes they would like try to take advantage of you. I won't delve much into that 'cause, then I need to say what happened there.
I don't know. Sasungena vele kuyilokhunjana ke then Trendz online image.
Then from point A to B, ngiyabona ukuthi okay, cool. Listen, we already have the tech know-how. We already have a couple of connections. Then what I had wanted to do before we close shop for point A to B, about Greyhound, they were on board. So what the agreement with Greyhound was going to be very simple. Each Greyhound ticket that you bought, a small portion would come to us, so you'd get a free ride home when the bus arrives. But Greyhound was also facing their own issues at that time.
Yeah.
So everything was just happening all at once. Yeah, so it was quite a tide and quite a wave that was it was quite a ride. Then this is how Trendz online then emerges. Like flip.
I need something new.
We need something that's gonna get people going. Understand?
Yeah.
So I started like researching into what people like, what they like to buy, where they spend most of their money, who spends money, where and why. Because now it was like, I mean, with all these experiences, with all the knowledge, excuse me, we can literally now do almost anything. So we started introducing the ability of being able to buy hair and pay it off in 12 months. Because weaves were still huge at that time for girls, but they couldn't afford it. But just for inclusion, for women to get what they wanted, and not having to like rely on men to get it.
Yeah.
So independence was actually like I feel it's not at the strongest point. It's still growing, but wanted to give women that thing which I can buy this myself. I do not need to date mang to actually
to only live.
Exactly, because there were rumors at that time. Well, I would say it's rumors, but other things were actually true. You see, some of our beloved sisters in the country were dating certain guys from certain nationals to attain these things.
Yeah.
But these things are cheap only if we finance them this way. You understand?
Yeah.
Then we started integrating our systems and our payments into the platform. So that made us stand out. So by inclusion, we then were struggling a bit. We had to convince the guys that were backing up the credit book to say, listen, it's not the girls that actually struggle with this. It's young girls who are students. How about we try to tap into that market? And at that time, we were having to decline about 906. At that point, I think in that quarter particularly, we declined about 960 students. They couldn't attain the credit facility from us because obviously with the requirements of the credit provider at that time.
And that's a huge clientele you lost there.
Yeah. So what then we did is I reached out shout out to Nicole Isaacs from Edcon. I reached out to Nicole. Nicole was at that time responsible for third-party vendors within the Edcon group.
Okay.
So what then that would mean is if we like we did, we had proof. So the lane where is about 1,005 each. These people, bonke laba bala kule list banawo amakhadi ase
Of
Edgar's,
course, yeah.
but they can't get the hair. So why nina nathi singahlangani sikwazi ukusevisa le market, because it's still rising and it's huge. It was a lot of money. So Edcon said, cool, let's jump. Yes.
Yeah.
We get all the agreements signed. That time, I'm not sure whether Bain was in charge of Edcon, but I'm not sure which.
It's closer to the in. Was it a saga or well? It was Ilokunjane. Because they liquidate.
Yeah, no, they had a problem. They had to file for business rescue.
Or
So,
they filed for business
yeah, they
rescue
filed
other
for-
than to liquidate the business.
Yes. So they filed for business rescue at a critical point where it just secured investors to say, listen, we are going to be opening a Trendz online stores, physical stores,
Yeah.
in XYZ malls. So
Yeah.
mainly the target was township malls and a complex of shopping that was a Makas. All those people had access to the card. If not, you had a check card. It was just straightforward.
Yeah. We have waiting.
So that's in Feb. So we get the approval in 2020. We get backup funding in 2020 around the same period,
Yeah.
approved or pre-approved. It's just a matter of now getting all the list of suppliers, etc.
COVID happened. Yeah.
Like and all the small nitty-gritties.
Yeah.
So I get a call from FNB saying they're having a problem with our account. I'm like, what's the problem? Fonere, it was one of their most senior analysts at that time. Yeah, it's okay. They are aware of the contract of XYZ. That time, the amount was pre-approved for funding. Then Nicole reaches out to me and says, listen, hey, we are thinking it's Edcon. If right now you haven't like opened XYZ stores in these malls, please pause, because we need to make a very huge transition. So the transition was RCS was going to take over the credit book of Edcon.
Okay.
But that transition was not happening at that time. Then COVID came around the same time.
Hey, I know. Hey, yeah.
Yeah. Then we saw flames. Proper flames, because remember, Trendz Online, when it first started, was mainly focused on luxury goods. And during the COVID period,
Yeah.
you couldn't move luxuries. You moved in essential goods.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of orders stuck in customs at the airport because needed to get customs clearance.
Yeah.
So we couldn't really get any business done. Then I had to think quick and very fast to say, listen, what is it that we are really selling? Because I'm not like a super specialist when it comes to women's hair,
Yeah.
but I understand finance, I understand tech, I understand how all these things come together. Why we don't why singenzi kanje add izinto ey'dingwa abantu, then we started focusing more on like needs now as opposed to wants. So with that, we then launched a voucher catalog, which then did the following. Still does. You could now buy certain things that you wouldn't ideally buy using a credit facility.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not talking for those ones that are inclusive in the credit space. Laba banganazi inkinga, your what's this? Your credit score is very high. I'm talking about students, people that are really struggling. yeah, but low-end market. So for the first time, you were able to now buy groceries using Trendz online voucher. So let's say you wanted to buy groceries worth R1,000, R1,000. You would not need to have R1,000. You just need to have 400 rand, and we'd give you the voucher with the 1,000 rand to buy the groceries. Then the following month you'd pay the 400 bucks, and the other following month as well. But only if you approved. Then petrol was also increasing. We started adding a couple of things: petrol, food, uh, and there's other things that we are adding as well. So I feel like we then understood what we need to service the needs of the people, not our wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where the business is.
Uh, Tell me about the good days. I think it had to be 2019 for a business because it's seasonal.
Yeah. So good days. I've had a couple of good days. I won't lie.
Yeah.
I've had terrible days as well.
Yeah.
But I can't reveal everything.
No. Just
What?
simple things with like
Oh.
good days. Ukuthi okay. Ibhizinisi bekwazi
Oh.
ukumove. I've seen this. Nah.
Oh, 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 oh. One of the good days was when we decided, ukuthi, obviously with the vouchers being launched, we're then going to service a whole new market. So imagine, let's say right now, you're going to attend an event later today,
Yeah.
but ukuthi it's not within your budget, but you can fit it in your budget. So we then started a concept of saying we're now going to start selling my vouchers for events using the same model of financing it.
Yeah.
So let's say you want to book VIP now.
Endaweni
Endaweni
manje.
thizeni. We did a pilot with KRS in Newcastle,
Yeah.
which was quite good. So imagine this. With the voucher, if you want to attend event, it's about December, man, you're able to use the same voucher to attend event. You're able to use the same voucher. We're going to be onboarding a couple of buses as well. So you'll be able to move using our voucher currency, if I were to put it.
Yeah.
So you need to go home. I say, excuse me, also gold man,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Petrol, obviously, bring in the mix. So we also forging very, very good partnerships right now. So, Njengamanje, we're in the process of getting one of the biggest petrol retailers in South Africa on board to use the voucher nationally.
Yeah.
Then we're also having a couple of interesting things happening, such as we're going to be going for a funding round very soon, which is, I think, is going to be huge. Then there's a lot happening, but I can't reveal it.
Yeah, sasekhona isikhathi sokuthi
Yes.
vele.
I want to under promise and over deliver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shortly, you might have an establishment that you can name drop few with those projects or
Okay.
business.
We're gonna be doing a Kaya res. The scrapyard, they gave us an agreement. We're supposed to give them a cash guarantee, but we had to put it on pause because a lot was happening, and we were just trying to understand the space. But later this year, we'll bring scrapyard on board. We'll bring Kaya res. With our petrol stations, we did a pilot to Sizwe Global Garage.
Yeah.
We also do it for Izama Garage, putting on to an industrial side.
Yeah.
So with those filling stations, we then enticed the bigger retailers to say, listen, come buy it. There's good cheese here.
Yeah.
So obviously that's why we're forging all these partnerships. with all these guys. So obviously with also the voucher stuff for the establishments, we wanna. I'm not saying we want you guys to stop using CompuTicket or Ticket Pro, but we're saying, hey, we're an alternative,
Yeah.
and we can make it enticing for you in terms of how you would pay us. You understand? Then Kobe, it's other projects are interesting that we're also working on. We into the education space now. We're using technology for students to learn.
Okay.
So there's a company that we have a very great relationship with. That's going to be doing augmented reality and virtual reality for students. If we're privileged enough, and if Imachuba College agrees, say, support us, guys. So what that would actually allow students to do is the following. I'm a simulation test. So I'll just give like a very short example. Right now, let's say you're training to be a pilot. First, before you get into a plane, the actual plane, you're given a simulation test. Everything feels and looks like a plane and it performs like a plane, but it's just a simulation.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to be doing in the engineering space for Amativet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a dope idea.
It's no longer an idea. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, because I'm still visualizing it. No wonder I'm saying this idea.
So, but imagine this. Let's say you're studying motor mechanics. Yeah? You know fuck all about a car. We'll give you a scenario. There's a person who just walked into the workshop. They said they heard a knocking sound and their car is just moving slow. What could be the problem? You'll be able to actually dissect the car, not the actual car, a car in a virtual environment, behaving exactly like a car, being diagnosed exactly like a car, and being fixed exactly like a car. So by the time you start fixing an actual car, like you already know,
that's
and
insane.
you have a clue.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yo.
But it's not a new idea.
I know.
It was done way back. Like even about what's the software is for mixing, about virtual DJ.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. That's the concept.
Man, I can't finish this conversation without speaking about your mom, because
Yeah.
I know. I think most of these crazy ideas and everything you do, she's like your backup.
Not all the time.
No,
but
you shall
most
not
of the
like all the time. I
Yeah.
know. The
Sometimes
inspiration you draw it from your mom.
Like
Yeah.
she's my pillar of strength. She's
Yeah.
the best thing that has ever happened to me.
Yeah.
I'm actually very privileged to call her my mom.
Yeah.
She's given me privileges that most people do not have. Ish. Just diving into that on its own.
Yeah.
She
She has been through thick and thin, and
Yeah.
I nama memories nami, like you yourself ufunda ukudriver, head the roll, kuma business ama meetings use imoto yakhe, like udlala irole enkulu.
especially during my early days, even now she's still playing a major role.
Yeah.
But even with her network, wherever she goes, when people ask her about me, she hooks me up with business.
Yeah.
So
I understand.
Yeah, but even sometimes other concepts to her, because now she's like slightly older, she does not know how can we support this going forward and who do we speak to. But it's all the people within her reach for certain things, which is she goes the extra mile. Yeah.
Nah, I feel you. Okay, let's just play this little game. I'll say a genre, you say your favorite song.
Okay.
Let's start by hip hop. One song, quickly.
There's two. Can I just pick one?
Eh?
Can I pick both?
Hip hop.
Okay.
One song.
Ham.
Ham.
No. In Paris. Niggas in Paris.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, Kanye West, yeah.
All right. Let me see. R&B.
I'll go with Ujo. I like to know that.
All right.
Nice song.
House.
Old, new.
Whatever. One song. House.
Hey, that's a very difficult one for me. But
Okay, let's say electro house.
okay.
Gregor Salto, I know.
Yeah. I'm your friend Gregor Salto, very huge. I love that. Still
Yeah.
do. Then in terms of Afro house, I forgot the song, but
Enonapa, it's
it's
Kususa.
Enunapa. But there's this new one, man, with who's this guy?
Jackie Queen.
No,
Okay.
Connor, this guy, Wagu. Do you see the tall guy, the white tall guy? Wagu, stay true.
Okay, Kid Fong.
Kid Funk. Then there's this other guy, yeah, not Kid Funk.
I think I've got
forgot
that.
him.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see.
But it's fine. If I were to choose just one song in the house space, let me just go with something nice and mellow. Addicted to You. I think it's by Chris Lopez.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then go Amapiano. One song.
Right now, I'm really, really jamming and vibing. He scoops so much. I've heard that song for a while, but I can't get it off my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, like all in all, I think we need to do a Kunjane any episode. We'll revisit because
Yeah,
they
yeah.
still need to share ezinye izinto. Ikuphi okufundile like of which shape usibu being usibu ukwazi ukumove also having ama ideas ngathi kuphi izinto nje that are key on you mhlambe like 5 or motivator ngazo
Yeah.
or that they make you.
Okay. If not you, then who? So by that I mean other people think certain things are meant for certain individuals and not them. So I always go with that notion of if not me, then who? So that brings out the best in me. Like I trust myself so much with a lot of things that people don't even trust me with. They're like, "Where I see born lenses or anything." Then I just prove them wrong all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel you. So if you are given a chance to be a president, I change.
For how long? For one day or for an
You are
entire
a
term?
president, bruh.
Firstly, I'd remove. I'll try to remove lento kubizwa nge-nepotism. 2, I'll try by all means possible removing red tape. There's certain unnecessary red tape. I'll change certain systems in government on how things work so that we deliver services efficiently and effectively. Then I'd get rid of the old incompetent cabinet. You can't be telling me a person who still has about a further 60 years of life in him ukuthi ngizotshela umuntu ona 73 ukuthi they building our future. Which future? Like getting ready for getting ready for your next life or on the other side.
Yeah.
So no, man. Like I'd change that. That's the major thing I'd change. Cabinet.
Nah, I feel you. This has been awesome. Thank you for your time, my brother.
Thanks.
Sazoyenza enyangithi.
Definitely. So they say sneers are my results of what we've done on the things that we mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abantu bakuthola kuphi socials?
On Facebook, Sibusiso Simelane, but I need them to like our business page.
Yeah.
Trendz _online_ZA on Facebook.
The spelling of Trendz, cause
TRENDZ.
yeah, it's Trendz lo gcina ngo Z.
Yes. _online. Normal online gamma.
Yeah.
ONLINE. Trendz online.
Yeah.
The site is trendsonline.co.za. So everything we're doing from vouchers to other products and to other services that we offer, you'll find it there. Our WhatsApp line for business is 081798
I know they'll get it with description.
9057.
So ifaka lapha with description. All right, it has been awesome. Episode 4. My hand is almost complete. Have a great one. See you on the next episode. Peace.
Till the next